All right, guys, what we got here is my new favorite toy, likely. Came wrapped up in this really heavy plastic, so I get to do kind of like an unboxing unveiling. Let's go figure where we can cut. Oh, right. Cool. We're going to take a closer look, and eventually we're going to do some work to it. But this, I think, is going to be sweet. So this guy is my brand spanking new Chembine. Chembine is from Freeform Plastics, a division of Bourgault, which is good because I like Bourgault stuff, despite the fact we don't run a Bourgault drill. I find their stuff is definitely overbuilt, and I like overbuilt. Overall, I think it's a pretty sharp looking unit. The green, not exactly the same as the green on the trailer, but I'll live with that. And who knows, in the next 4 or 5 years, those might end up being black tanks. We shall see. We'll do a quick walk around. I like, you know what, I'm going to talk about features first, and then I'll talk about what I do and don't like, and what I'm going to do, and where things are going to go. To start off, we have this is a Honda GX390 engine. It's got 13 horsepower, electric start and pull start. I don't see a battery, so I'm probably going to have to plumb something in. Yeah, I'm not really sure on that. But that's not going to be a big deal because I should have a battery on the trailer anyways, because there's a couple old ones around the farm we always use. This is the 3-inch high pro pump. I should mention this combination here is supposed to have 364 US gallon a minute capacity. So if we follow flow, this is your source selection valve. It's currently closed, but there's a ball valve, or a ball in there with a 90 to it. And if I turn it that way, it'll suck. This will be my freshwater source. In that position, it's closed. Or if I go there, it's actually sucking out the bottom of the Chembine. The only time you would use that is if you're looking just to recirculate this guy. So you could put, say, I don't know, what size is this? It's 240 liters, so you could easily put, say, 100 liters of water in there, and then maybe you're putting some dry granular in. We use a lot of these Pro Pack, or Precision Pack is what they're called. It's like a DB878 kind of thing. But you can do heat as well, or there's other granulars like draft, and you get the point. Anyways, what you'd be doing is you open up these two, and there's a couple of jets inside. You see those nozzles? And they just keep everything stirring around. You bypass it, and you're just circulating it so it's nice and agitated and totally incorporated. And then you would actually flip it back, and you can go out. But 99% of the time, everything this way is going to be just fresh water, including this tower. And what I really like about this Chembine, I'm getting ahead, I'll get back to that. So this is for fresh water, as in like a garden hose you could put on. This is your rotary rinse. There's a little nozzle, try and point to, hopefully you can see it up there. That spins with water going through it just to rinse the tank. Those guys you can use to agitate the tank as well. This guy is your jug buster rinse. They have a new style of jug buster. It's supposed to help drain faster. I really don't have a problem with the old style, but it is what it is. So nozzle 1, nozzle 2, fresh water, jug rinse, auxiliary, and this is going to tie into the chem manager that's over on the other one once I move it in. Now we'll follow the flow. This is your pressure side. Like I said, this should always be, or almost always be, fresh water. This is your main pump route. So when you're just pumping water, you're going to see it like this, but this guy's going to be closed. I guess it really doesn't matter. It would, I'll read up on it more. Anyways, water's just going to go through there. This is going to be open. This is your main shutoff. And then if you're needing to educt, as in suck, or I guess mix, this is your eduction selector. So this will be your source for, like I said, I'm going to have this tied into that chem manager. As well, I'm going to have a spot for a quick suction hose to suck directly out of a tote. Hopefully that's not too extravagant. This is your source selector, so as it is right now, I said it's sucking out of this, or I flip it to the other side, it sucks out of the bottom of the Chembine. Pretty simple. I like it. This is your Venturi in here, so as water's going through there, it goes extremely high velocity, creates suction through here, and it's going to draw everything up that's out of these lines. This thing, I think it actually said 270 liters if you fill it right to the brim. I doubt it would ever be filled right to the brim. Overall, I am quite excited about it right now. Now, I'm going to talk about a few things I like, a few things I'm going to change, or a few things I'm going to add on. So, what do I like? I like Honda motors. They're good in the summer, really good in the summer. We've had trouble with them in the winter. This isn't going to get used in the winter, so I'm good. Electric start, I definitely like. I don't see a battery, as I mentioned before, but that's not a big deal. We're going to have plenty of power to tie into anyhow. I like 3-inch plumbing, which is why I went this route. I actually do like the color of the tank. Wasn't 100% sold on it, but I do. I actually like that probably better than the Handler yellow. And it sort of matches that. I like the size. I don't necessarily like that there isn't graduations on the front side. It's only on the sides. However, the way it sits is probably, or the way it's gonna sit is probably okay, because usually we're fairly level. The trailer sits fairly level wherever we park it, front to back, but it can be tilted side to side. So you'll be able to, like I said, I'm probably gonna have a flow meter anyways, but if we don't, you'll be able to average it out side to side. We're also gonna have the other one beside it. Inside, I like that there's the 2 nozzles. I like that they sent extra stuff. Keep in mind, yeah, that should be fine anyways. I do wish this was a little bit tighter, like right up against the tank for mixing purposes, but we'll learn to live with it. I might even end up putting a step in there just to make things work better. That's minor. I love that there's an eductor, because A, they can suck really fast, and B, you actually don't need a pump for certain things, and C, most importantly, is you're keeping this full of clean water. With the other one, you always end up with some slight contamination. So you're always focused on over rinsing everything, and that slows things down, and you have to wait for your product to start going out before you start rinsing, or like be fully gone before you can start rinsing. Whereas this, you're pumping water and you're sucking, and you're actually mixing here, not mixing in the pump. So you've got fresh water the whole time. I like that it's built for expansion. I really like that it's built for expansion, I should say. So we're likely going to end up, I haven't quite figured out exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to tie in the other one, the Chem Manager, to this line. Might have to raise the other one up just a hair to get the heights so they suck nice and clean. Minor. You can tie in, the next one's going to tie in here as well for the what's it called, the fresh water going out. So the rinse water on the next, God, I can't think. So right here is where the rinse water is going to tie in for the Chem Manager. I will likely put another bulkhead here, or even on top maybe, I don't know, for the chemical pump. I could tie in here. I may tee in, but this is actually 3/4 and I want full 1 inch. So I'll probably do another here. It should be easily out of the way, but still easily accessible. I like to have a valve on it. I don't foresee that as much problem. I did it to the other one last year. One thing I don't like, but it will be fixed, is that the pump, to me, is the orientation's backwards. So I'm going to turn this guy around so that the motor's over here. It may end up sitting forward. I don't know. I may have to change out this line for a slightly longer one, depending on how things go. But I want the exhaust going off that way. I want the throttle control and everything on this side. Now that does pose a minor problem for having to reach over to bypass that. But I don't foresee it as a major problem. So we're going to leave it. I'm not going to worry about it until we actually go to use it. The biggest thing will be to make sure that if we do have to lean over to use it, that we're not putting our hand on the exhaust. But really, I'm hoping that, yeah, like I said, may end up needing to drill some new holes and move stuff forward and whatnot, but the plumbing's going to stay the same. It's just that this valve is going to end up, not flip, well, you'll have to flip it to get the suction thing right, but yeah, it's going to go on this side. Another thing I'm a little concerned, but not very, is there's a really low slope on that tank. I kind of wish there was a little more, but we'll learn to live with it. I like that they've got bottom drains, so that's really handy. So one of these days I'll take this into a shop, probably next week, and I'll do some rejigging and plumbing, and I'll have a plan. I should state that I know I mentioned over here is going to be the secondary hopper, the Chem Manager, and off of here, as long as I have the Chem Manager forward, it should be fine. Off of here, I'm probably going to put a strainer. It's probably likely in line here, but I was also thinking I might do it around the side depending on where things go. And then at that point, it's going to go down into another hose on the ground. So I'm very excited about this. Very excited about this.